I'm against that, totally. No white belts break at all. Green belts, high green belt, one board. Women, no. Children, no. One board, high green belt, that's all. It's not to see how macho you can break. I mean, I can take anybody and teach. Bill's wife, teach her outrigger board. Anyone can do it. I mean, it's a real simple thing. It doesn't take much. As a matter of fact, if you only make it about 6 inches wide, you can do this and break it. It's rope with a grain. It's nothing. It's supposed to teach you focus. Just like the makawari is supposed to teach you focus. In other words, how to concentrate on hitting in a specific, again like kotiate, a specific point to where you tighten all at once and don't bend your wrist. Tighten all at once, hitting with this focus point here. Kotiate is teaching the same thing, to focus and tighten all at once. That's why we do kotiate the way we do, and then makawari training. No makawari training at white belt. Makawari training at green belt. Get a portable makawari. Everybody's got a scrap piece of carpet or some rope they can wrap around a 2x4. One guy can hold it, and the other guy can hit it. Then he can practice hitting it with the side of his hand, shuto-wise. He can hit it with a knife hand. He can hit it with a hammer fist. He can punch it. He can hit it with his elbow. He can kick it with the tips of his toes, with the side of his foot. Every class, 10 times each hand, each way. Make a portable makawari. Then you can start to do breaking. When I see it the other way, I see that little hand over there breaking a little bone and he doesn't know it. The most complicated part of our body, 50 some odd bones in my hand. You break them, it's almost impossible unless you put your whole hand in a cast to ever heal that little bone. Same way with the foot. You break a toe, you have to put your whole foot in a cast. Or just tape it together and forget it. But look at this hose. There's some of them that are kind of bent and got knots on them. They've been broke a few times. Hands the same way. You take that little hand right there, and he's going to be big. I don't know how big his dad is, but he's going to be twice as big as he is right now. That means his hands are going to be bigger. And if this bone is broke and has to heal, no breaking. No breaking. Till you do makawari, till you do strength. Then breaking. You know? Like I say, the problem is not that he can't break one board without being hurt. The problem is when his friends go, oh yeah? We'll try to break this. And they bring out some hickory wood over here. And he nails it. Or like my friends did to me, they brought me out a little fire break. Break this. Try to break a fire break. It was a sledgehammer. It's going to be hard to break. Chip. Well, that's the problem is I get goaded into something. Then I get in trouble and I hurt myself. That's what I'm trying to talk to you about. Don't create the habit. Or when I see the white belts and the kids out there doing it, I say no. Because the mentality of a child is not near as an adult. I don't care how hard I train him. When someone says to you, you're a chicken, man, you're a little wimp, I can get goaded into anything. I'm a kid, man. My peers aren't going to let me. That's, of course, how drugs get started, too. Come on, try it, man. Yeah. Okay, but you see, you got to teach them a mentality that doesn't force them into that position. Breaking, even though other people do it, it's cute, but it's not very good. Makawari is better. Training with the makawari is better. Right? It gives you the same focus, same training, strengthens your wrist, and so on. Then less likely of an injury. But again, I don't want to spar a white belt either because he doesn't have the ability yet. He just gets hurt. So keep that in mind. Use the kotiate for conditioning. Use the makawari for conditioning. Leave the breaking for brown belt. High brown, 2 boards. Okay? Black 1 little cinder block. Okay? That's all. The rest is hype after that. Just showmanship. There's not much more in the body that is tougher than 2 boards or 1 cinder block. You say, well, the femur. I don't care who you are. That'd be one heck of a bone to break. It is the largest bone in the body. It's surrounded by so much muscle, I doubt you would break it. I've fallen on it and tore it up. But the bone's hard to break. It has to go through a tremendous amount of pressure. I'll give you an illustration. 2x4 takes 1,200, 1,500, and 1,700 pounds of pressure for standard grade, instruction grade, select grade. That's a lot of pressure to break. That takes about 2,500 pounds to break. Go break a 2x4, 8 foot long. It's got some buoyancy in it. Now, try to break something that's only this long that takes all of that. It's not going to happen. So, what do I need to break to do that? Stack of bricks? Let me tell you, stack the bricks, put a space between them, they'll just break each other. Stack them together, don't put a space between them. It's pretty tough. Well, what's much tougher than that? Let's see, we got a rib. That's about like one piece of wood. Skull, it's about like a coconut. You can slap a coconut and break it. It's a good demonstration, by the way. Get a coconut and slap it with the palm of your hand. Looks impressive. It's easy to break. Scientific fact. Pop, like a balloon. See, just put pressure on it. It's brittle. Well, let's see. Collarbone, about like a cinder block. But how much damage do you really need for the collarbone itself versus just the clavicle end? That's like a couple pieces of wood. Arm. Why would I want to break the arm when I can hyperextend the elbow? Why would I want to break the little leg bone down here when I can hyperextend or break this cartilage? So now then, if I have speed, technique, and focus, and if I can break those things through my conditioning, through makuwari, push-ups, kotiate, why do I need to be out there breaking all of this stuff over and over again? It's also very economically unfeasible. Keep that in mind. The demonstration is just for focus. I think you've seen me do a demonstration enough time when I explain. The reason for breaking is because I can say that with this punch, or with this chop, I have enough ability to break your ribs. Let me show you. Well, I got too many volunteers, right? So what I do is I break the wood to illustrate that that's how much strength or power comes into it. With the focus. Through kotiate, through makuwari training, you get the same focus, the same strength, the same ability. Why damage something? It's not the way it was done in Okinawa. You want to keep it like Okinawa, you got to keep those things in mind. It's gradual buildup. We are different than other systems. Okay, so now let's go on to one step where you guys want to take a little kinds of self-defense techniques I can do. You grab a hold of my hands, you remember these, you know. You got, this is your fighting, because what is one of the things that's going to happen? I've told you time and time again. You're going to be grappling after the first one or two punches, so you better learn that grappling. That's what this is all about. Take kumi. Now as a green belt. Oh, start sparring. Well, what did I teach you as a white belt? Repetition, 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 right? Reflex, reflex, reflex. This is the way you start. Got any belts around here? White belts or anything?
All of them. My black belt.
No, just put the brown belts. Yeah, put the brown belt down. Just like this. Okay? So let's say I've got, oh, you two together. You two right there together. Me and him together, you two together. Okay. Okay. So now I have this is what great white belts are good for. You put them in lines like this. Okay? Let's assume that I start this thing with 10 feet between us. Okay? Now, I have white belts like this, and then I have another white belts back here. Squaring it off, making a rectangle. Okay? Or maybe I make it twice as long as this, depending on my room. Okay? Now then, I say, okay, Kenny, I am going to be the puncher. You're going to be the blocker. Okay? I'm not going to kick you. I'm just going to punch. I'm not going to block you. I'm just going to punch. You're not going to punch me or kick me. You're just going to block. And you're going to start with a low block. Okay? And I'm going to start punching at you. So, on here. Okay? And I'm going to start punching at you. Okay? All right, here we go. Now, if you'll notice something, I'm getting Kenny used to change body, right? Do you see how I'm doing him, getting him used to change body? I'm going like this. When he's running out of room here, I go and grab him and throw him around. And then I'm keeping here. See, my job is to control the situation, okay? Pretty soon, he's going to change body without me touching him. Okay? And the whole object here is I'm learning to punch and move. He's learning to block. Now this goes on for about 3 minutes. You getting winded? Could you imagine 3 minutes of doing that? Right. Then it's my turn. Then you punch me. And I'm the blocker. Okay? Right? Right. Then we start again. I say, okay, now you get to use double bone block. You then get to use cross body block. Knife hand block. High block. Single bone block. Specific blocks. Those are the 7 blocks of what? One step. One step. Even here, you're punching and doing blocks with jab. Makes you think, doesn't it? Okay? First green level.
Aye.
3 minutes apiece. Think you get winded?
Aye.
Now, you think you're going to throw a lot of punches, a lot of blocks during that time?
Aye. Aye.
You're going to throw more than us sitting here like this doing this?
Aye.
How many are you going to throw in the same 3 minutes here?
2 or 3. First leg.
So, am I now creating a reflex that every time someone punches you, oops, your arm's almost made it, right?
Aye.
Would it create a reflex?
Aye. Aye.
Now then, middle green level, that's beginning green level. Middle green level, okay, now then, I'm going to punch high, middle, low. You can do any of your blocks.
Aye. Same arm and back.
Don't care, it won't happen when there's 3. It's going to constantly change, isn't it?
Aye.
But you start now letting me do punches high, middle, low. High, middle, low. Then low, middle, high. Then a combination. High, middle, high, low, so on. Maybe start them off with the basic blocks first. Just, I'm going to go high, middle, low, and you do a down block, double bone, this. Then but you start mixing it in.
Aye.
Okay? Middle green. Now then, high green. Now we're going to do some kick drills.
Aye.
Kick drills. Okay? Your foot, my foot. Same, same.
Aye.
No, same, same. Left, left, okay. I'm going to do a front kick at you. I want you to block and step back. No, block. Yeah, there you go. Block with your down block. Kick me. I'm kicking you. You kick me. I'm kicking you. You kick me. Now, other leg, right?
Aye.
Okay. And we do the same thing. Then back over here. Now, change your feet. Now I'm going to do a front side kick. Come on, your front side kick. No, you got to move back with the leg.
Aye.
Move back with the leg.
This leg?
Yeah. Go. Come here. Move back and block with that arm.
Aye.
Now kick. Is this your Kotiate training too?
Aye.
Are you getting a drill? Getting a habit?
Aye.
3 minutes of this, think you get a little tired?
Aye.
Front kick, side kick, back kick.
Aye.
Starts to teach you a little bit about sport too. Okay? Kick drills, right?
Aye.
High green. Now then, high green. I'm punching. Kick.
Aye.
See, I'm going to punch and kick you now. You still are the blocker,
Aye.
but now I'm going to punch and kick you.
Aye.
1, 2, kick. 1, 2, kick. Am I now training myself?
Aye.
I'm training to do 1, 2, kick. Put any combination you want in there. 1 punch, kick. Punch, 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 kick. Anything you want. Making it a little more elaborate. Now are you training? You sure aren't training doing this.
Aye.
What else is that doing for a green belt? Why does a green belt do this? Brady's going to get hit, isn't he?
Aye.
Now he's building a lot of confidence. You know the only reason you're not afraid of being hit is when you block. And so you know I'm not going to kick you. You know what I'm doing. You're building a habit. You're building reflexes. You say, gosh, this is all right. You're getting confidence, aren't you? And I took him from low, middle, high green belt. I've given him better conditioning. I've given him a tremendous reflex. You think I'm real fast. I'm not. I just can get you before you're aware of it. Right? I tell.
Like when he was young.
I used to hit you about 11 times in 1 second. People say, I find that hard to believe. How about 1/1000? Can you say that? Did you see those? No. Okay. But there was catches him every time. But anyway, pretty good, wasn't it? Good. He never had more children either. Hurt him, I think. I also I can pull his heart out and stick it back in before anyone can see it. Ninja. So that is our fighting drills for green belt. If you train a guy like that, don't you think then when he gets out there and puts that gear on, he's better equipped from a reflex point of view, from a courage point of view, from a confidence point of view, to stand there and fight? Because our fighting is made to be in close. Now then, well, I've done that a few times, getting kind of bored. Are you? I'll show you how to keep from being bored once you think you got it down right here. We're just going to change the place a little bit. We're going to make it a little tighter. Then we're going to put another one right here. We're going to make you fight in a little area and say, come on, now do that. Now you're going to start again with that low green and say, you better learn to change out. You go out, you lose. See? You say, well, that could be exciting. Sure it could be if you got two guys right here on this side, two guys on this side. Because then, you two guys are fighting, I'm fighting, we're real close together. Isn't it giving us an impression of a lot of things happening? Don't you become aware of these other people? Right? In a real fight, where a lot of people are fighting, that happens, doesn't it? It's fun, too, isn't it? But in a real fight, you're used to everybody around you fighting. Makes you control the situation. There's the idea. It's a fight drill. It's made for fighting, made for conditioning, for reflex building. That's what I want you guys to work on at green belt, not sparring the white belts or green belts. Your white belt can't spar like this. His arms aren't conditioned yet. His body's not conditioned. His technique's not conditioned. Your green belt's just starting to. So now then, what do you do for brown belt? You've heard me say this for years. You just spar the pants out of them. Get it out of their system. Put that gear on them and tell them to go at it. The foam gear and that's okay for a little bit. But you get the same perimeter set up, wide to narrow, put that full gear on and go to it. Watch them. You'll teach some fighters. Oh, sure, in a tournament they may get disqualified a lot for hitting someone, but I don't care. Why should you? You know, I'll tell you something about it. All it takes is half a dozen times you guys go into tournaments and get disqualified that way, and you've got a reputation that all you got to do is get out there and see that passion. Oh, crud. And you win by default. The guy's just kind of going, you see? But right now, they don't have that impression. You don't fight. People that have fought me, anyone that has talked to them, they know. They say, you don't want to fight him very much because he doesn't let up. He'll just fight you. You know, and I like to get right in there and rock and roll with you. So, it's different. This will teach you how to fight. This will give you a fight drill. It's excellent for the green belts. That's what you need. You don't need to be sparring them. Yeah, they can buy gear. They got lousy control anyway. So, let them wear that foam gear there. They won't get hurt that way. Let them use that foam gear. That's fine. Tell them to get their own set. Don't keep buying it for them. There's a couple of reasons. I'll tell you legally why you need to do it. They've acknowledged that they come to fight if they own the equipment. But if you provide the equipment, you're telling them they have to. It's already been proven a couple times. Although you have good insurance for all this now, it's, you know, there are certain obligations when it goes down to a $3 million lawsuit. You know, well, Chris, I'm sorry. You nailed that guy. You meant to. You provided with equipment. You told me you had to be there. So anyway, that's an important thing. Make sure you fill out those insurance forms for me and send them back if you haven't.
We can send ours in.
The form? Not the form, just the money. I need the form.
Okay, I got it.
Fill out the form so I know how, you know, because it's all on a yearly estimated.
Okay.
And so I can't guess.
Well, I sent the form, didn't I?
I don't know, I'd have to check everyone. There's several forms that I'm missing. It's an actual
missing
chart.
ours?
Yeah.
I think yours is one.
Where it was,
Might check.
they were all
It's my
all the way
bookkeeper.
down through, yeah.
Yeah, you just have to fill it out.
You only fill it out once, though? Or first and last of the year? Or?
First of the year, and then we do it, you know, if you
Retrospective.
estimated that you had $20,000 gross receipts, and you only had 19, we owe you money. But if you had a 22, you owe us money. So we have to do an estimate on a yearly basis.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, you get this fight now?
I
Not much problem with the brown belt fighting, is there? If you keep it within the kind of similar parameters and stop this kind of stuff. Come on, you know. I get tired watching you bounce. All right, let's do something. But get right in there and fight, even at your brown belt. But just, I mean, Ben, brown belt is both you are fighting. No longer a defender and an attacker. Both is fighting. So it should be pretty simple and a lot of fun. When you get the black belt, enjoy your fighting better.
I think this will help people come to fear of sparring, because
Yes.
this type of sparring, I think, produces more anxiety, because
Yeah,
you're wondering what the guy's gonna do, you know?
They'll throw it first.
And then when you throw that punch and he nails you, but when you're just going at it, you're not thinking about being scared about fighting, you're using
That's
your
more
technique.
realistic. But
Yeah.
also this kind of stuff here.
Yeah.
Stop that, Tim. Get back to your basics. Maybe here. High up, you see me fight like this.
Exactly.
Okay, but I can hit you hard from here.
Mhm.
Right.
You'll see my hand come back to do it a lot of times. You'll see me go,
Right.
you know, and come right in there, and boom. You don't see me go like this. You know, if I'm just touching you, I'll do this to you a lot of times and just touch you. But you gotta start this fighting like this. Again, no white or green belt fighting. But I think there's enough fighting in white belt
Right.
if you look at the self-defense and the techniques we do there. And I think at green belt, that's enough fighting. Why do you need to bandy rooster it?
Even at fourth key green, what you're showing us there is basically just fighting in itself anyway.
But controlled.
But controlled, right.
Pre-set up.
Mhm.
Same as your one step, same as everything, it's pre-set up.
Mhm.
You know? It's not something where maybe I get one, maybe I don't. You know? It makes you stay straight. Like, create a habit. That's what you gotta have. Reflexes turn into habits. What do you think?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Yeah.